Hello, dogs. Lildawg right here, right now. Welcome back to Magical Eyes Reddit for Anguish. Last time we left off of a cliffhanger. I forgot what the cliffhanger was. I think someone showed up. Station East Residential Area. You, Saeed. This is a little random, but have you tried saying bamboo? Huh? Yeah? I think that sounds like a baby crying in a pretty cool way. Holy crap, that really was random. Don't you have anything better to say to a friend that you haven't seen in forever? Minamikawa. Huh. But don't you think it's cool? I tried to imagine a baby crying that way. It's freaking cool, yeah. No doubt the baby would be wearing sunglasses to make himself cooler. I know, right? So what brought you to that shop, Mikawa? A boy who used to go to the same school as you and Chiharu. He had to leave school for personal reasons, but since there was no trouble at school, he still keeps good relations with his old classmates. Because of his cheerful and entertaining personality, people often mistake him for a frivolous person, although he is a man of strong sense of loyalty and integrity. There's only one thing to do at that knick-knack shop, of course, shopping. I was just window shopping, though. What about you, Amikawa? I never thought you were interested in interior goods. Wait a minute, am I being kinda insulted? Actually, you weren't there for shopping, were you? I saw you talk to the clerk when I got there. He and I are friends who have known each other for years, and he more or less knows about my job. I don't need to lie him more than necessary, but I don't need to lie either. That shop was a crime scene, and I'm part of the investigation. For real? Yeah. What kind of crime? I think the staff will tell you if you ask, but it was a robbery where the shop owner got injured. That's so upsetting. I sometimes visit there and I've talked to him a couple times. Oh, really? I go to the shop once or twice a month. What for? For fun. There's this antique I've been looking for, and I'm going through all antiquaries in the city. To me, that doesn't sound like something a lot of people would do for fun. Me either. So that is one of the shops you frequent? Not really, there are more like 10 shops that I go to more often than that one. You're really serious about it, huh? Although he explains it's not a big deal at all, I don't think that's something he can just do on a whim. It seems that he's going all out to find what he wants. I'm looking for an accessory, so I go to that shop much less than the other ones. You said you went there once and twice a month. Apart from today, have you been there the last month? Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. Okay, then let me ask you one thing. Did you see any dolls in there? Dolls? Nope, I don't think so, as far as I remember. That shop only has a tiny amount of small items and the rest is furniture. Right, that was my impression too when I took a look around inside. How big is the doll? It's a Japanese doll about the size of a 3rd grader or so. What? A Japanese doll? In that Western style shop? And that big? Yeah. That's impossible. I don't really know how tall a 3rd grader would be, but that's at least 1 meter, right? Yeah, I heard it's like 1.3 meters. I doubt they would sell such a thing in that shop. It wouldn't fit the shop's style, and even though I was looking for something different, I would definitely remember seeing it if they had displayed it in there. Even an occasional visitor doesn't seem to have seen the doll in the shop. Which means that it had definitely been in the backyard, but if that's the case, that makes sense. That's why Azuma. What's up? Nothing. Well, so at least you didn't see the doll. Never. I can declare that with confidence. I mean, that's what you asked the staff about already, isn't it? Yes, I just wanted to confirm with someone not involved. I get it. Since the shop is the crime scene, you can't just swallow what the staff told you. If the clerk I spoke to is part of the incident, her word could intentionally be misleading. By the way, Amikawa, I remember you working on this kind of stuff before, but you're not allowed to tell people about this, are you? That's fine, I'm not with the police and I've got no obligation to classify anything. The disobeyers are not obligated to hide who they really are at all. However, even if I were to confess that I'm one of them, no one would believe me. It's too absurd. But then again, I don't plan to elaborate and drag my friend into our harsh world either. You said that back then as well. Spies these days must seem really laid back, huh? I'm not a spy. And now you're hiding your identity. I don't get spies these days. I said I'm not a spy. Don't you remember saying you're dealing with non-corporeal things? Did I say that? When we were in junior high, I was like, I'm fighting against those that have no form. With a total smug. I don't think I had a smug face. Well, I didn't, did I? Well, no. Okay, I'll be careful not to do that face again. Well, anyway, what part of the story, that story, made you think I'm a spy? Non-corporeal stuff is information. What else? There's lots of them, like human emotions, say hope or love. Ha, that's a nice one. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the romantic Emikawa, or Romakawa for short. I know you always wait for the chance to deliver a bold one-liner. Seriously? That revelation struck my mind rather sharply, reminding me of the time my little siblings asked me if I worked at a host club. By the way, Romakawa, since the doll was in the shop, is it also an antique? I don't know much, but it is a pretty old work, apparently. Okay, then want me to try looking around for it when I'm in that sort of shop? Ever since I left high school, I haven't paid you back anything. You still think you owe me for that? It's a fact. Just looking for a doll wouldn't even cover any interest. Just make sure, how serious are you? Fairly. You could get hurt. It's okay as long as I fully recover within a month. Alright then, I'm counting on you. As one of the disobeyers who live out their life with the feelings placed ahead of everything else, how can I brush aside other people's feelings? There's one thing I need you to keep in mind. What? If you find a suspicious doll, don't try to contact the staff directly. Just let me know immediately, okay? Does that mean there's something dangerous about the doll? Yeah. Must have a microchip that has classified data in it. Like I told you, I'm not a spy. Even after all these years, this friend of mine is still as happy-go-lucky as he was before. Chu and Koto. Okay, just making sure. You. The two little children are whispering to each other in front of Yu's room. See, he's acting weird. Yeah. Everything started when Shizuku came up to his room to let him know dinner was ready. Never seen him like that before. Same here. Noticing her brother's strange behavior, she got worried and brought June for assistance. He's rolling around. He's smirking. Mindful of his body, he always maintains good posture, even reading or watching DVDs. But now he's rolling around on a tatami while staring at his phone. Makes the scene more disturbing that he's grinning like an idiot. But what do you think he's doing? This is about Chiharu! Playing a mobile game. No, he says he doesn't play games a lot because he's not using a smartphone. His fingers aren't moving at all. Maybe there's something interesting here on the screen. I'm calling you as a young man who rarely expresses his emotions. He doesn't get angry, burst into laughter, or rejoice outwardly. But look at him now. Anyone can tell that he's overjoyed about something. He's still totally smirking. Maybe a variant did something to him at work. You feel anything out of him? No, I don't feel anything bad at all. The positive atmosphere radiating from him puzzles the two of them even more. They know their brother is currently working on a new case. It would be understandable if he were overcome with a terrific sense of urgency, but what in the world is with that sluggish, laid-back air surrounding him? The two kids are trying to wrap their heads around it. You want me to check? That will make him mad. Right, but the two kids aren't grown up enough to leave their brother's unusual stay alone. Even though they sometimes act and talk maturely for grade schoolers, it largely stems from the environment they grew up in and their talents. They have been through a lot more than other children of their age, but in the end they're still children too. They lack experience, especially when it comes to romance or subtleties of men and women. They occasionally astonish grown-ups around them, especially their brother, by making sophisticated remarks that they're just imitating these grown-ups for fun. We should probably tell Mom about this. I'm in. Completely forgetting to inform him of dinner, the two of them hurry down to the kitchen in the main house. They are purely worried about him and very curious about what caused this drastic change in behavior. Their actions ends up creating a situation where Yu's mother gives her son understanding and loving looks throughout the dinner, and Yu, with his cheeks drawn into a stupid grin, doesn't even notice. Is this about Chiharu? Give me a moment. Alright, I'm back. I got a spam text. Keep an eye on my text messages just because, I need to make sure it's important. I'm taking a bath, decided to look back on today's events. Now that I picked up a lot of new stuff, but my day wasn't entirely fruitless. I heard something worth noting from the knick-knack shop clerk, and it's a big help that Azuma is now working with us. I need to sort those things out to get the most of them. Reasoning mode! Okay, I'm gonna save right here because I don't... At least for how long, I've thought to gone missing around the doll. What is it with Azuma that's concerned? How the owners disappear. What remark of the shop manager cannot be ignored? Surprised by the doll. I don't know if I did good on this. I don't remember. I don't think I got an S for this. Woo! I did! Holy crap! I guess I don't have to go back now. Alright. Let's save. Oh, crap. Hold on. Oops. Yeah, exit does not mean head back to the menu. It means close out the entire game. Okay, so I think we have a few new extras. I think. Oh yeah, we have new materials. Okay. Cool. That means I get the S-rank scenario. We get to view that too. The culprit is still shrouded in mystery. Did the doll cause everything in the case? Or is a human behind it all? In any case, I have to keep at this using the clues at hand to step forward toward the truth. Because in this world, just a single step can determine your fate. Here we go. I think we're going into the next S-rank scenario. S-rank scenario number 2. The Strange Story. So is it what I think it is? Yeah, no mistake. At midnight, the sound of a keyboard typing echoes in the shop. This is the biggest difference between Nanashi and the previous owner of the shop. He uses these gadgets for accounting and information while the previous owner was dead set against him. He is currently engaged in an online chat at the suggestion of his conversation partner, who had been afraid of facing his wife's wrath if he were to wake her. What a surprising discovery. I feel like there's something of an incongruity to it, though. The conversation partner firing off emojicons is a 59-year-old man. What? He's a professor working at an arts college in Kyoto and has known Nana Shidu since the older two generations back. He's known as the leading authority on the history of dolls created between the Meiji era and the present day. Last night when Nanashi saw the picture of the doll, he already had an idea of who could have created it. He decided to contact the expert to see if he was right. To me, the whole face looks really similar to his style. As you're presuming, that distinguishing expression proves it's one of Miyama's works. I knew it. What about the other parts? Not sure unless I study what's it like under the clothes. But I feel like the body size isn't right. So far, the professor's opinions match Nanashi's. The essence of his works is that madness, isn't it? If it's his works, he undoubtedly channeled all his energies into maintaining the equilibrium of the doll. Which means someone retouched her? I'd say it's pure madness to recreate a doll with parts of Miyama's work of all things. Works or art can be remade or recreated with the use of original parts, but dolls are practically an exception. Without substantial experience, it would be extremely challenging to take a human-shaped doll apart and use its parts for another doll. But the doll has some mysterious charm to it, don't you think? I do, I can feel it even from the picture. The actual work must be impressive at first hand. Make sure to let me know when you get her. I'll come see her whatever it takes. The old man in front of the other computer seems to be the same breed as the young man. However, as someone studying dolls, I can't accept everything about the doll. Given that someone unnecessarily fixed her up, there are less than 10 of Miyami's works in Japan. Do you have any references that mention when a doll with that face was created, or how many dolls were created before or after her? Based on design, I can guarantee the face is from one of his later years. I also saw several works whose faces had extremely similar features to it before. Could one of them be what they used for this doll? Scan the pictures of them and send them to you. You should see for yourself. Those dolls in this one look so alike in design they could be the same doll. Is there any obvious difference? Size. The ones I saw are all shorter than 90 centimeters. 90 centimeters is tall enough for a doll. The professor must have used a word shorter compared to the size of the doll in question. That makes sense. If I were to revamp a doll, I'd probably use the same size doll for it. Parts. Or maybe there's a reason for using that head in particular. As far as I can think, maybe they loved the design of the face and wanted to use it no matter what. If that was the case, wouldn't they have remade the body to match the face? Did you just figure something out? It's like a devil has suddenly whispered in Nanashi's ear. The sudden burst of inspiration sends a shudder through his whole body. He's convinced he must be very close to the truth. Ooh! So we're learning about the doll. In all honesty, I am surprised I got the S-rank scenario for that. The Yamakawa house. Living room. Is today gonna be another busy day for you, bro? Yeah, I think it is. The intelligence department has shifted into high gear since yesterday, and Azuma and his team are also on the case, so I suppose some progress can be expected. What's going on? Got nothing to do. Nothing to do. We got a new game just yesterday. I saw the two of them and Mom excitedly play the game together after dinner yesterday. We can play it any time. We don't want to spend the whole holiday at home. We want to go out. I don't think I'm going to be free until the case is closed, and I can't ask you out at this point because I don't want to have to cancel on you again. Alright then, why don't we just go to the park, Shizuku? A date at the park? I'll let the date part slide, but you guys have to make sure to hold back. Their physical capabilities are so high that if someone saw them at full strength, there'd be a flood of sports clubs wanting to scout them. We know that. It'll be boring, though. Hey, how about we follow you during your investigation? We'll follow you. Based on what we figured out for the last 2 days, it's clear the culprit is cautious and elusive. Otherwise, they couldn't have been able to keep up their activities secret for the last 20 years. At least it's hard to imagine they'll dare to show themselves and attack me in broad daylight. I won't completely forbid it, but the ramen place is my first stop today. Pop's Ramen Shop? We just went there yesterday. We did. Oh yeah? After the hamburger steak lunch, Aunt had some business around there telling us to stay with him while she was at it. We waited for her there for a bit. Were you both alright there? You and Aunt always asked us, but Pops is really nice to us, right, Shizuku? He gave us juice yesterday. Yeah, I know he's nice. I know that these two kids don't harbor any negative feelings toward the ramen shop, partly because the grown-ups who keep them from eating anything served there. Let me clarify one thing. Did he squeeze the juice himself? No, it was bottled, the regular juice bottle from the store. That's a relief. Is his cooking really that bad? No, you know what? I'm gonna make a guess. At the end of the story, he's gonna make something edible. Because he is a really reliable man and wonderful man. As long as you don't let him cook. I don't really get it, but you guys are too worried. Sometimes just entering a shop makes us feel sick, but we'll get better right after we leave again. Yeah, we feel faint, but it's gone in no time. The air's so polluted, it's making you sick just breathing it. Okay, so I'm getting the message across that his cooking is so bad that he is a danger to society. Okay. A big hospital providing many of the neighbors with advanced medical care and treatment. Even people outside the prefecture come seek for its reputable pediatrics department, while most hospitals stay clear of the field due to financial issues. No nameplates hangs at the door of the single patient room. Probably in order to keep Nikawa, the victim, safe. This is exhausting. Azuma knocks on the door, muttering his current feelings. After a slight mumbled reply from inside, he slides the door open and enters. Nice to meet you. I'm Azuma from the Kawasaki police station. My doctor told me about you. My deepest condolences for what happened to you. Azuma pays close attention to Nikawa's complexion and condition while greeting him politely. He has only been granted 10 minutes for this meeting because they have just allowed the patient to have visitors. The doctor also warned him not to pressure his patient. Knowing there's no time to waste, he starts to break the ice. How is your reattached arm? According to what he heard from Nikawa's doctor in advance, there's a chance his arm can recover enough to function. Not fully, but to a certain degree. This is the result of a series of good fortunes. That the surgery was performed promptly, the bladed weapon used was very sharp, and the day he was attacked was unseasonably cold. Still hurts like hell, and I can't move it at all, so I don't feel it's real yet. Nikawa answers with a frown. Zuma asked the question on purpose, expecting this reply. But my doctor says proper rehab is going to make it better. Azuma starts off this chit-chat not only to relax him, but also primarily to see how he acts and talks when he's not lying. He just gathered some sample data on this Nikawa fellow. I'd like to ask you a few questions about the case, as long as I can answer. The right thing to do here was to choose the questions with due consideration for Nikawa's mental condition. However, it's already confirmed that the case is still ongoing based on what Azuma found out this morning. He has a feeling that every wasted moment could lead to more victims. The doll wasn't on sale, was it? What? Nikawa responds, taken aback. Must have been expecting a question about the authenticity of his testimony that he'd been attacked by a doll. Turtlevi might have anticipated being asked if he knew if anyone had a grudge against him. To all officers who came in here, questions falling into those categories, but Azuma's prior interest lies elsewhere. You kept it in the backyard for something like a year, correct? That's true, because it wasn't for sale. Nikawa answers in a perplexed tone, unable to figure out the intention behind the question. If that's the case, then what did the doll mean to you? What is the point of that question? What did you have it there when you weren't trying to sell it? The investigation conducted by the police showed that dolls of that size aren't cheap, even as mass-produced production models. Ikawa isn't wealthy enough to buy that doll just on a whim. That means he had some other good reason for the purchase. It wasn't there in stock. I liked it and bought it for myself, but it was too big to keep in my house, and I ended up leaving it in the backyard for a long time. My smile forms on Azuma's face as he hears the overly predictable response. That's odd. You live in a detached house of 4 rooms. It's located in the Oba Warm, and the cost is 1500,000 yen per month. You chose the house for your antique collection. In addition to that, you even own a small shed for that purpose. I have too much stuff in the shed, and there's little space left in there now. If that's the case, what part of the house do you keep the 1 meter tall statue you bought the other day? Ever since Azuma got involved with this case, what has been plaguing him is the reason why Nikawa had the doll in the backyard, not whether his testimony is true or not. The other investigators wouldn't consider that relevant, but the question has led Azuma to one speculation. What are you trying to say, officer? You wanted to own the doll, but you also wanted to keep it away from you. Wasn't that the reason you put it back there? I don't understand what you're talking about. Nikawa's expression is wary instead of baffled. Azuma doesn't miss it. This is not complicated. I'm just asking if you knew the doll was worth a lot. Azuma tried to sound as nonchalant as he can. The answer he just gave is a fake. He needs to prevent Nikawa from figuring out his intentions. He wanted to keep around, but the house might not be safe enough. On the other hand, the shop is equipped with more reliable locks and doors and locks. Ah, that's what you mean. Few people can sleep soundly with 100 million yen in cash by their bed in an ordinary house. Azuma releases his speculation that he knows is off the mark. A famous detective in a crime-solving show would find this the best timing to corner the criminal, but he doesn't think about it in the slightest. That's not because he's a man of mercy. He simply decided that he doesn't need to do anything else here and now, so that the rest of the moves will work out in the future. My memory has been blurry since the attack, but now that you mention it, the doll might be expensive, yeah. Nikawa responds with a forced smile, the fact that he quickly doesn't become supportive about the fake speculation that tells Azuma he doesn't want to talk about this topic. Speaking of blurry memory, have you remembered anything more about the time when the doll attacked you? I saw it really clearly, and that's all I can say, he declares immediately. No hesitation can be found on his face anymore. Azuma intuitively realizes he's not lying about it. The fact that he doesn't seem to even suspect it could have been his imagination or that his memory was scrambled makes Azuma feel more suspicious. Is there any other evidence of the doll's assault apart from his own memory, or does he know something about a doll like that could attack him? Or... I'm gonna end it here. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.